Hi everybody, my name is Barbette Curran. I came to the studio almost 10 years ago, 2014. In August I started a beginner class and I didn't know anything about working with pottery, and it took me about 4 years to get decent at hand building. So I almost quit, but my mother talked me out of it. And I'm so glad she did, because now I'm pretty good at it.
Bank on money.
So be patient. Now this class, it's for everybody, but particularly for beginners. How many people here are beginners? Okay. I'm going through the basics. So when you work with dark clay, you have to use dark canvas. When you work with white clay, you have to use white canvas. Do you know where the canvas is? Okay. You have to put newspaper underneath and then lay the canvas. When you're working, like when you're hand building, you have to have paper down. And then the thing I want to show is wedging. Now when you first use clay out of the bag, the pug mill where it was made takes the air out and smooths it. So if you're using fresh clay out of the bag like here, you don't have to wedge. Now I recycle clay, and one of our teachers here, Scott Young, he told me to use 50% fresh out of the bag and 50% reclaim, and that works really well. I predominantly work with B-mix, but it works with everything. So I thought I'd show wedging, what the wedging boards are. Okay, some people don't. Here's the porcelain, there's the dark, and there's the light, and then for white. And then around the corner, if you want, I'll show you after the demo, where the dark and the white boards are for that. Now I'm gonna take away what I just put down in place. What I do. You also want one of these to cut your clay, and we sell a basic kit, and it has the clay cutter in there. So I'm just going to cut a little bit, and you want to get it into like a square, and you can spritz it a little.
Can I ask you a question? You said that you don't need to wedge the clay right out of the bag. When do you wedge the clay? If it's not...
When you're using reclaim or 50-50 reclaim and fresh.
Okay.
But you know, I just rolled out a slab, 2 slabs from the fresh bag, and I found air holes. But you'll find them when you compress or when you run it through the slab roller. So, let's see, I don't want to block any views. So this is showing how to do it like a ram's head. So you get a block, you're pretty much using right here. You roll it and push. Roll it and push. And you do it 30 to 50 times. Now the ends, just do that. I mean, I'm not an expert at this. But see how I'm getting like, well, kind of, a ram's head. And I have, I wrote down a video that's really clear about wedging. It's on YouTube, and it's instructables.com. thought I wrote down her name. Yeah, okay. It's Jenny, Jeni, Hanscn, Gard,
Could you repeat that?
Jeni, Hanscn, Gard on YouTube with Ceramic Arts Network. It's really good. She's really concise and simple, because I've watched other videos and they were more complicated. So that's how you wedge. Can you get this, Bob? Pack that in. And then to check to see if you have air bubbles or not. Where's my cutter? Here. You always have to cover it. And this gives you the width of your slab. And I always measure. That isn't completely accurate. And I'm going for a 1/4 inch. So I have it a little above.
White clay versus red clay.
And you just run it through. This comes toward you. Here you can check
I'm not
the
sure what
bubbles.
you're saying. Yeah.
No bubbles.
Oh, the white versus
And I
the
run
red
it
on
through
the
a few
thing.
times, especially if I'm using a plane. Especially if you're using what? Reclaim.
Oh, reclaim.
I'm sorry,
It's just, I'll just do it this way. No bubbles.
Barbette, you want to mention that there's 2 different sets of canvas, red and white.
Yeah. So white for white clay, red for dark clay.
Okay.
Now we get to compressing. You always want to compress after it comes out of the slab roller. Compression prevents warping, drying, cracking, and it'll expose air bubbles. And it aligns up all the particles. And this is my favorite rib. I don't know what number it is, but I got it on Amazon. We don't sell it here, but it's my favorite. Now I read that you're supposed to go up, down, and I just do it. I've never had any problems. My stuff doesn't crack, rarely. Now if I did have, let me see if there are any air bubbles, because I want to show you what to do. Let's say this is an air bubble. You stick your pin tool in there. You scrape some from here. And then smooth it out. That's a really good way to deal with air bubbles. And you're also taking the canvas texture off of this. See how much smoother it is? There's a little. Right there. You also want to lift it up so it doesn't stick when you compress it. Okay. So I work with a lot of templates, and I just wanted to show you, I went to, I can't remember the name of the place, and I got like an organic watermelon drink. And what I did is I unraveled it. Oh, Chipotle. I unraveled it, and I made this. And I made it a little bit bigger for shrinkage. So it's an idea that you can, if you have a favorite place you like to buy things, you can make. And then also, this is really good for beginners. It's called Circle-matic. Mine is very used and worn. And Circle-matic. And back then it was $99 for all these templates, and you could make all these different shapes, and it comes with a CD too, and these circles. So it's really good for beginners. You can make bowls and cups and all sorts of things. Okay. So, I thought I'd show some stamping. I refer to myself as the texture queen. I love texture. A lot of my pottery has texture on it. And, let's see. Texture mats. That is going to be for later. So I thought I would do this. You want to roll your texture first before you cut it out. So this is called a color shaper. And I use it to, when you have seams coming together or like a foot, you want to roll this down on it, and it prevents cracking. Oops. So this is going to guide me and show me where I should put my texture.
Barbette, can you move that bag to the side a little bit?
This,
Yeah.
Do they have the texture things in the cabinet?
yes, we have a lot of texture. We have crochet down in drawers in there. This whole island is pretty much texture. We have shells all over here. We have a lot. And then in there we have lots of rollers, rolling pins, cookie cutters. Yeah, a lot of texture. So now you want to remember this is your edge, so you want to put your texture above, because I'm going to have a foot. And you want to go deep. Uh-oh. Oh no. No. You can't mend that.
Is that because it was too wet or
You know, I usually put down cornstarch. I'm a little nervous.
No, just so we didn't run into the same thing, yeah. Okay.
You're amongst friends.
I know. Then run it through the slab roller again.
You want me to run that through for you?
Would you?
Is it set where you want it?
Yeah.
There, well, little bit.
Oh, thank you, David. Okay, great. So, okay, here's a bubble. Here's a bubble.
Oh, yeah.
Now that took that one out, but this one is still there. So what I do is I take a little bit of clay, rub it in, and compress. And that takes care of it.
So you have different ribs, like which
Yeah.
is one different from another? How
Well,
firm
this
they
one
are?
I use to compress. This one, like if you have a form and you're putting your slab over it, you push it against the form. You can use this just in general in hand building, smoothing,
So some are
'cause some are
more
soft.
flex than others.
and this is like hard. Some people use metal ribs to compress, but I love this. It just fits really good in my hand. Okay, this time I'm gonna remember the cornstarch, but let me outline this. And this just burns in the kiln.
This is cornstarch. The special one, why it's not out? It's not really used.
Blush brush. We all have a ton of those.
Not anymore.
Okay. Lift up. Then I'm gonna use. You can get these like at any pottery website that sells them. Just Google it. Okay,
What would you ask?
stamps.
Mhm.
rollers. It's pretty much under tools. Okay. I do the top and bottom first. And then, especially for beginners, it's good to use a bevel for the sides, so you have an angle to join. And we sell these. For $10. So it's 45 degree and 60 degree. So I'm gonna use this. Who's that to cut this? You just take it along the edge and go like that. I pretty much do it freehand, but I just thought I'd show. So when you do one side like that, do the same angle on this side. Oh. Yeah. It is really wet. Okay, now we're gonna join the seam. And it's called slip and score. Now this is so wet, all I need to use is water. I don't use slip very much with B-Mix. And you want to go one way and then the other way. And I'm just going to use water. But we have slip in the back for all the different clays.
Why don't you use slip with B-Mix?
It's so moist, I don't need to. That's just a personal thing. But if my clay was drier or it's reclaimed, then, like I used slip the other week, but I don't really, to be honest, I don't use it that often. Depends on the clay. If it's drier, I'll use slip. This is
tool have a serrated edge on it, or is it flat?
Yeah, I can't see it.
It's just a
I have
flat.
more than one.
Oh, yeah, it has to.
You can choose. One of our members went home and she brought it back for me. It was so sweet. This is like a weapon. You can use this. I know. You can use a toothbrush.
Anything with serrated edge.
Yeah. I don't know what we sell. What we can do later is look in the window at all the tools that we sell.
What's that piece called that you cut the edge with? A
Bevel.
bevel? Okay.
We sell those. Here. Here's another one. I think we sell these. Okay. So now, what we want to do here is we want to take the middle edge. We want to take this edge and put it in the middle. It's really hard to show this. You don't want to just go like that.
Don't overlap it.
You want to take this edge and put it in the middle of this. Boy, this is soft. And
So there is a little overlap.
there is, the camera can't see this because it's facing me. Maybe I should go there and turn around.
What are you trying to say?
This.
There,
I'm right-handed, so like this. Okay, I have a rounder too. You can use, I used to use yogurt containers, but I just bought a rounder. So, trying to show the camera. So see how that's tacking really nicely? Then you can turn it over. And see, this is so moist. I'm eliminating where the line was. Look at that. So what you do outside, you want to do inside. So, see, this is so moist. I can just use my finger. Sometimes you have to use a tool if it's drier. But I end up using my fingers to smooth it out. It's a treat for me to work with fresh clay because I mostly work with reclaim. So this is like so easy. And I can talk about later how to reclaim clay. Because clay is expensive now. When I first started, it was $9 a bag. It's almost double that now. Okay, so then you want this rounded. Now, I also recommend getting cookie cutters. These are great for making bottoms.
My dad gifted me a set like that a zillion years ago. He at one time was a baker. And I had it in my cabinet, not even for cookies to use it, but now. There you go.
Yeah, don't ever mix
That's exactly
food
what that is.
and, yeah. Great.
I get it out of my cabinet. I'll have to say thanks, Dad.
Barbette said you might want to get cookie cutters. You also need to know that we have a box full of them in there.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
well. This is
For the
more-
beginners,
we
you
do,
know,
we
you
have a lot, we have a
Oh,
lot.
yeah, ton of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I try to get close.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I
Real
just go
cookies.
here, leave that in the cabinet.
This foot is kind of in between this one, but this one's too big. But what you can do, well, I'll show you what I'll do. Another thing you can do is slip and score it, put it on clay, and then cut. But I like this method better. So I'm gonna, see how wet it is? It almost is making its own slip.
What is that, Stony White?
B-mix.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend it for beginners. but you can try V-Mix. It's very soft and creamy. Doesn't have much grog. Then I go over again just to be. Okay, so I think that one. Okay, and what I do now is sometimes I stamp. Here's a stamp of a tree. So wait, the first what I'm gonna do is see how that, so now I'm gonna use my pony roller. I really recommend getting one of these. We also have it in the tool cabinet. And just stretching that so it'll fit. Yeah. Yeah. So inside I'm gonna put this stamp.
You stamp your pots on the inside instead of
Well,
outside?
it's gonna be like that. I'll show you. And then I put my name.
Oh, I thought that was.
Because we all have to identify our pieces. Oh, wait. Yeah.
So that's on the underside and the other one
This
is
is on the
inside.
outside, because,
Okay, I got it now.
yeah.
Okay, you're using.
and then this is on the inside, and now I have to slip and score in here and turn it over.
Now, you're not gonna use water with this one, you're gonna use slip?
I'm gonna use water.
Oh, okay.
If you're not comfortable using water, you slip.
Well, if the water's gonna hold, I don't see it to be necessary.
I mean, what I would recommend for beginners is to use slip. Okay. Turn it over. Usually paddle it. Oh, you know what I need is sure. A banding wheel. Forgot. Sure. I need a banding wheel.
Yeah.
Thanks, I forgot.
Sure, he's getting it.
To adhere it to the, it's like glue. Yeah. Now, this is a little,
Just a small one, it's probably fine.
this is seeping over a little bit. So what you do, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so see right here, it's not matching. So you just bring it out with your fingers. You see that?
Yeah.
Same here. And then what I do, I use this edge, then this edge, then this edge of my finger.
Can you also use it with a little wooden tool? to do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you that.
And don't moisten your finger when you're doing it.
This is so wet, I don't need to. This is very nice to work with. Not too wet, you know, just right. And then I'll go around. Oh, this has a little, okay, there was a little cut here. Bring that out a little bit. And then sometimes, I really like the way this looks, but I'll do it just to demonstrate. You can, it kind of gives it an elegance. You hold this at a 45-degree angle and just start, it's like trimming and with the wheel throwing. You're making a foot, but you're using this tool. I need a smaller. I had it. Can you give me a little?
What do you call that tool?
Wooden knife? It comes with the kit. See, here's your metal rib. You cut your clay, the wooden knife, your pin tool. This is a good basic set. That's a trimming tool. So is that. Nice wooden rib and sponge. And this is really good. And I recommend.
The squirt.
A what? This is called a thumb, thanks to Jan. Because of, yeah, I use the end a lot.
The two ribs in the beginner's kit, which one would you use to compress? And which one would you use to,
The metal one.
the middle one, and is the other one more flexible for forms?
This one is wood.
Oh, okay.
You could smooth things. You know, like when I had that seam there,
Yes.
you use a rib for that.
Oh, okay.
You'll learn as you do. So I really like this. But I like the way it looked before too. But sometimes a foot needs some elegance. See, I'm getting a lot of clay off. Oops. It kind of lifts it. It raises it. And then I would smooth this out with my finger. Now I use the water.
Really does it.
I know, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do a little more. Now remember, sometimes I've chopped off my name. You gotta put, if you do this technique, you have to stamp. See, I didn't stamp in the middle because I have that tree in the middle. But you have to make sure your name is in enough so you don't cut it off.
Barbette, what she said, sometimes a foot needs a hand.
Needs a what?
Hand.
Needs a hand.
Me involved here.
Now it's gonna be recorded for posterity.
I chopped more of my name on. But see how nice that looks? It gives it like an elegance. Okay, you have to finish the seam inside. So what I use is this kind of a firm brush and just go inside. I should have shown it before and after.
Do you ever recommend putting a little coil on the inside?
You know, I don't have to with this, but when I do coils, I was going to talk about that. Like if you're making a mug and you have a handle, and sometimes where it joins, I would put a little coil. If you feel it needs it, like I made a canister this big, my first canister a couple of weeks ago, and the joins definitely needed coiling. When you become more experienced, you know where to coil.
So you're not worried about that bottom piece?
Oh,
breaking
never.
off?
I never. Not with this. If it's dried out, if it's not joined properly, like it needs something, then I tend to use little coils on handles, on mugs, like where they meet. If it just doesn't look solid enough, like it might break off, then I would put coil in. So coils are great for reinforcing.
Can you explain what you mean by reinforcing with coil?
Who's that? Oh,
You were gonna talk about coils later.
oh, I can show you my mug. When you asked about reinforcement, so ideally a little coil should have been put in there.
It kind of fuses the handle.
Right. I'm going to show you what a coil is. So does that answer your question?
I have just a small.
Clay in your roll.
I'm going to be coiling.
Okay.
So you would roll a little coil. I don't know if you can see.
A little worm, that's better.
Like that.
Not listening to us.
You want it really little. And then I would put it in there. I can't now because this is dry. So you'd put it in there to reinforce it and smooth it down and everything. So, you know, it's not sticking out. Okay? Never, never lift up anything that has a handle by the handle, greenware or bisque. You just saw what happened. That's okay. It's just clay. I can make another one. So, I can show you the inside of that. It still needs, but it still needs at the seam. I can use my clay shaper, color shaper too. This is great for seams. So what I do is I go around the edge and just kind of, I don't know if you can see that or not. And then I use my brush.
Can we see the clay shaper tool?
Pass it around.
Show us the this side.
What I did?
See the inside.
Oh, sorry,
Off this side.
sorry.
Don't forget
I'm
about
sorry.
Beautiful.
And then I get my
Can you
sponge,
pass that around? The clay shaper.
color shaper. Oh, where are my sponges? There, it's so organized. This is what. So, oh yeah, for the top, it's called taco sponge. and you want to smooth this out. You never want pointy, jabby ends.
I still want to take a piece of cardboard or a thick piece of, I guess, paper and make little ridges in it to make your rims. They like this. And then they're put it in there and just go around.
No. So I'm just, what? Plastic? No. I have a chamois, but I like this. But see how it's smoothing it? This is wet, but not soaking wet. It's just wet from when I used it last.
Now, what did you call that again? Just a sculpting bowl?
A rounder. This, a rounder. I mean, you can use anything that's round, but
I like the way it fits for
yeah. Okay, oh, just smooth this out. You want to get all your smoothing done so when this comes out, you don't have to sand because that takes a lot of time. You want to make it as perfect as you can while it's greenware. And also, if it's too soft now, a day or two I can come back and do this. It's kind of, I shouldn't touch it anymore. It's pretty wet. Because clay has memory. It's not perfect, but I can come back to that. Okay. Any questions? No, I don't have time. Look, it's so, okay, coiling. I personally like using fresh clay for coiling. I find reclaimed clay, the coils dry out too much. So, okay, I have my, you can get, you used to be able to get like 10 of these or 12 at Michael's, a package, but I don't know if they sell them anymore. So I got it on Amazon.
Yeah.
What is it?
I just got it.
It's foam sheets.
Yeah.
And this is how I make my templates out of this. Because it doesn't rip like this, you know? Okay.
So you coil on it, but you also make templates.
Actually, maybe I will use, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know, I forgot I had this in my locker. Even though this, I just made something, I'm still gonna try it. So,
Do they have those in the cupboard, or if you don't have it, can you do it on the canvas, the coiling?
I wouldn't, well, I really don't recommend it, it dries it out. I would
Oh.
rather do it on wood.
Oh,
Come over
okay.
to this table, also spray.
Oh, okay,
See, I'm gonna do the,
yeah.
we don't sell this.
Oh, okay.
I just got this on Amazon, but I used to get it at Michael's. So just, you know, put it in this shape. You roll, you're using pressure from your fingers to, oh, that's a little too wet. From your fingers to the end of your hand. So when I come back, no pressure.
No pressure on the backward stroke.
Correct.
Is that what causes your coil to turn into a square?
Well, let's see.
That's what
Actually, I'm
happens
gonna
to me every
show you-
time I make a coil.
I'm gonna show you what to do when it does flatten out.
Happens to me a lot.
Okay, what you do when that happens, you do this. Where did we learn that from? Bobby Free? A demo. You use one hand this way, the other hand the other way, and that'll round it out.
Okay.
See, this is reclaim, and it's harder than just fresh out of the bag. You'll get better at this the more you do it. It's really not that
I need to
hard.
buy new clay and I just got a locker. Is it okay to leave your clay in these lockers? or
Yeah,
will it
that's what
dry
they're
out?
for.
Oh, it'll be okay, it won't dry out or anything like that?
Not
I mean,
unless,
okay.
keep it in the bag.
Oh, yeah, of course. I was just wondering.
That's what the lockers were for. We don't have to lug all
Yeah, okay.
25 pounds. So you want to keep it as even as possible. And you'll get better at it the more you do it. I don't want to neglect you guys. Okay, so I rolled out a little slab. So when you're coiling, which it's fun, you want to score. Okay. I don't think I need to score this, but some people score that part. Actually, I could use the banding now. And you want to like jiggle it back and forth so it adheres. Now with coiling, you can build this going out, you can build it going in, you can keep the coils, you can smooth it with your rib. I would use a metal rib or like this. So this is a way to build a pot without throwing.
I just learned something, well, the second thing, don't grab something by the handle, and this coil, I would, cut to join the pieces, but you're continuing the coil around, and then you'll just join it with another coil that you're gonna.
Yeah, that's how long it was.
Is that the only thing you use the foam for, is to rolling the coils?
I also cut out templates.
Templates? Okay.
Yeah, these are great for templates.
I've never used it before.
Well, it lasts
Yeah, well,
better
thank you
than
for teaching
paper.
me.
Trying to make it thinner. So you can curl this. and add it to this. See, it's starting to dry out a little. That's the problem with reclaim. No, I would put like a little ball in there. And so on and so on. Okay, here's my, these forms. You can make platters and bowls and trinket dishes, and it's GR pottery forms.
You get them online?
Yeah, grpotteryforms.com. So always compress. Okay, and I got these stamps at Aardvark. It's our local clay shop in, Santa Ana, yeah.
Oh, there's a clay shop that's building. Wow, it must be like a campus.
It's not open on weekends.
No.
Oddball, it's called Oddball.
Yeah.
Aardvark, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I must have misunderstood. I thought you said Oddball.
Barb.
The anteater?
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
play and supply.
So, I love texture, and I'm gonna put this down first. Kinda outline this. Oh, where's my color shaper?
It's back there.
Oh, good. And so I'm drawing the whoops. Just so I know where to put my texture.
Do you need cornstarch with those mats?
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Good job.
I like how you recycled that spice drawer. That's a great idea.
Thank you so much.
I think I just threw out one really big one.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Yeah, now I'm working, great.
I liked the way these three looked. So that's how I'm gonna lay them down. Trying to make sure each side this is even.
Is there a reason they're on an angle?
I want them that way.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna get a rolling pin. Well, I have the pony roller. See if that's.
You want a regular one? I'll get it for you.
I don't think so, because I have to hold these.
Change your mind, Howard.
So I'm really pressing hard to get the impression.
Do those stamps come in the pack or is it an individual thing?
Individual.
Oh.
So you use the flatter side to cut out. I think I'll use that'll no. And I thought I'd show you how to do a press plate, because it's kind of it's an instant plate. Let me just get the foam. What you want to do is press down and rock.
Oh, wow. I love it.
I know, it's
I
fun.
love it.
And then you can mess with you can bring the edges up. I sold a lot of these at Bonanza. People love trinket dishes. And then I would smooth the ends.
Do we have trinket dishes here available at the studio for?
You mean the forms?
Yeah.
Well, I purchased all mine, but where the closet is right there on the left, right to the left of that, there's a bunch of forms.
Oh, okay.
This just happens to be one of my favorites. I like the octagon.
Well, that makes for a beautiful little trinket dishes.
You just want to
Even a
smooth.
soap dish or anything. I love it.
So